Okay, so you sent in this article titled The Unwritten Story of the Spaghetti Monster. Religion, Poetry, or Can It Go Away? And clearly,
Yeah.
you're intrigued by this whole flying spaghetti monster
I know,
thing,
right? It's
as
uh
much as I am.
it's a fascinating
Where do
one.
we even begin?
Well, what's so fascinating is that it started as this kind of joke, this
Yeah.
satirical response
Right.
to intelligent design being taught in schools, and then it just kind of
Right.
took on a life of its own.
It's not every day you see a concept go from like a playful critique
Mm-hmm.
to something that, well, people are actually
Yeah.
debating the merits of.
Yeah.
The article actually mentions this one scene that really captures this whole, like, the essence of it.
Okay.
This guy in a kitchen surrounded by, all
Yeah.
those smells of simmering marinara sauce,
Oh, yeah.
holding up a forkful of spaghetti,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
some sacred relic.
What a great image.
Such a vivid image, right?
Yeah, yes. And I think it really highlights how the spaghetti monster uses the familiar and the absurd to make us think about bigger things.
Yeah?
Like, what if our beliefs about creation or even just everyday things are built on foundations that are as shaky as a pile of noodles?
I mean, we're not really talking about a literal deity made of pasta, right?
No.
So this is more about
It's much more about
using this kind of image
Yeah.
to poke at bigger questions.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It's a thought experiment disguised as a duty.
So it forces us to ask, like, what
Yeah.
do we believe and why?
What do we believe and why? It doesn't say that all beliefs are equal, right?
Right.
But it challenges us to examine our own dogmas, the things that we accept without question, like what makes one set of beliefs more valid than another.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how this isn't just like a silly meme.
It's not just a meme.
But how do you go from thought experiment to like actual conversations about, faith and tradition?
Okay.
It feels like things could get
Yeah.
pretty tense pretty quickly.
Well, I think that's where the humor comes in, right?
Yeah.
The article highlights how the spaghetti monster often serves as a way to de-escalate those potentially heated discussions. There's this example of a slam poet who used it to diffuse a family argument about religion.
Wow, really?
And it actually led to a deeper, more open conversation.
Wait, what did she say? Like, I can't imagine using spaghetti to talk about something as serious as religion.
He basically said, look, if we're already willing to believe in something invisible guiding our lives, why not a flying spaghetti monster?
Okay.
And it's not about converting anyone, but it's about using humor to open minds and make space for different perspectives.
That's a brilliant approach, I have to say.
I think so too.
I can see how, like, laughter could kind of disarm people.
Yeah.
Make them more receptive to hearing viewpoints that they might just dismiss otherwise.
Absolutely.
And, it's not like every conversation about religion has to be, like, somber and serious.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the article emphasizes how humor can be incredibly effective at addressing complex or sensitive topics.
Okay.
It allows us to engage with those ideas without feeling attacked or judged, Plus, a well-placed joke can often be more memorable and more persuasive than a straightforward argument.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But the article also mentions using humor as a weapon. And that word kind of makes me a little uncomfortable.
I understand.
That sounds almost aggressive, like you're trying to win an argument instead of having a conversation.
I think they're using weapon metaphorically, not literally. It's about using humor strategically to break down barriers and challenge rigid ways of thinking.
So it's not about using humor to, like, shut down the conversation or belittle someone's beliefs, but to, like, make people think critically.
Make them think critically, yeah.
The article gives these, like, really clever examples of how humor can be used to make a point without being disrespectful or dismissive.
Yes, exactly.
Like, what if the pyramids were just giant spaghetti strainers?
I love that one.
Okay, that one made me laugh, but it also makes you think about how we interpret history, right?
It does.
Like, we tend to accept these grand narratives without questioning the assumptions behind them.
I agree.
And another example the article gives is, feminism is like a good carbonara. You need eggs to get it done.
Oh, clever.
Again, it's funny, but it's also making this statement about, the importance of women's contributions.
Yeah.
So it's taking this
Right.
familiar dish
Yeah.
and twisting it to make a point about,
Yeah.
gender equality.
It's brilliant.
And because it's humorous,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
more likely to
Absolutely.
stick with people, make them pause,
Yes.
consider the message.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how this all kind of ties back to the flying spaghetti monster. It's not just about pasta and pirates.
Right.
It's about using humor to encourage critical thinking and challenge those unquestioned assumptions.
Absolutely. We all have
Carry around.
We all have those assumptions.
But the flying spaghetti monster is this reminder that we don't always have to be so serious, right? That we can approach life and even these big, important topics with a sense of playfulness and curiosity.
Yes.
And maybe by, laughing at ourselves a little, we can open ourselves up to
Yes.
new ideas,
To new ideas.
new perspectives.
New perspectives, exactly.
Like the spaghetti monster is giving us permission to question everything.
Yeah.
Even those things that we hold most dear.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued.
Okay.
We've established that this spaghetti monster thing is more than just a funny meme.
Right.
Right? It's a tool for social commentary, philosophical exploration, even for personal growth.
Yeah.
But where does poetry fit into all of this?
Well, that's where I think it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The article points out that the spaghetti monster has become a sort of muse for poets, particularly those involved in the slam poetry scene.
Slam poetry. That's not something I would have immediately connected with.
Yeah.
A giant pasta deity.
I know, right? It seems like an unlikely pairing. But when you think about it, slam poetry is all about using words in a powerful,
engaging way, often blending humor and serious themes.
I see.
Just like the spaghetti monster does.
So these poets are using the spaghetti monster as a way to talk about like big ideas in a way that's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Absolutely, yeah. And they're using it to explore themes like faith, doubt, societal norms, and even the nature of truth itself.
And by incorporating that humor and absurdity into their work, they're able to connect with audiences on a deeper level.
Absolutely.
Make them laugh and think at the same time.
Yeah.
The article mentions one poet in particular who used the spaghetti monster to spark this discussion about faith and tradition.
Right.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, the article describes how this poet used the spaghetti monster to talk about the stories we tell ourselves about religion and the world around us.
And it wasn't about mocking anyone's beliefs, but rather about encouraging people to think critically about where those beliefs come from and what they really mean.
I can see how that would be a powerful way to engage an audience, especially in a setting like, a slam poetry event where people are already open to hearing different perspectives.
Absolutely.
And this brings us to another interesting concept.
Okay.
The article mentions the poetry master. It's described as a tool for aspiring poets who want to learn how to use language in a more impactful way.
Right.
Just like those slam poets who are incorporating the spaghetti monster into their work.
Absolutely.
No, that sounds right up my alley.
Okay.
I'm always looking for ways to improve my writing and make my words matter.
I understand.
Can you tell me more about what this poetry master?
The article describes it as a sort of toolkit for poets.
Okay.
Packed with practical techniques and exercises that help you develop your own unique voice and style.
So it's not just about learning, like the technical aspects of poetry.
No, it's not just about the technical,
but about finding your own
voice.
Voice.
Exactly.
Using it to express your ideas and connect with others.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's like taking the essence of the flying spaghetti monster, that, playful, irreverent spirit.
Absolutely.
And channeling it into your own creative process.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's about embracing absurdity.
Embracing absurdity.
Challenging conventions.
Yeah.
Using humor as a tool for connection and understanding.
Connection and understanding. Yes.
Yeah.
Just like the flying spaghetti monster.
The flying spaghetti monster itself.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm definitely intrigued.
Hey.
There's a theme here.
Yeah.
It's about using humor
Yes.
to explore
Explore those big ideas.
serious themes.
Absolutely.
Challenge assumptions.
Yeah.
Make our words
Make our words matter.
matter.
Absolutely.
It's like the flying spaghetti monster is more than just a meme.
Right.
It's like a blueprint
Hmm.
for a more
Right.
thoughtful and engaging way of
Yeah.
interacting with
Of interacting with the world.
the world.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
You know what? I love that.
Okay.
It's a reminder that laughter and critical thinking aren't mutually exclusive.
Right.
And that sometimes the most profound insights
Yeah.
come from the
Yeah.
most unexpected places.
Absolutely.
So we've gone from a vision of spaghetti in the kitchen
Yes, we have.
to a discussion about slam poetry, critical thinking, and even
Yeah.
personal growth.
I agree.
This is one deep dive I won't be forgetting anytime soon.
Me neither.
It really is a testament
Yeah.
to the power of words
Absolutely.
and those unexpected ways they can shape our
Shape our understanding of the world.
understanding of the world.
Yes.
Okay, before we get lost in this philosophical
Yeah.
pasta vortex,
A pasta vortex. I love it.
we need to take a moment to recap what we've learned so far.
Yeah.
We started with the flying spaghetti monster. This seemingly absurd concept that has become a powerful tool for social commentary,
Right.
philosophical exploration.
Philosophical exploration.
Right. And we talked about how this deity uses humor to encourage critical thinking,
Encourage critical thinking.
to challenge
dogmas.
dogmas.
And to open up space
Yeah.
for meaningful dialogue.
For meaningful dialogue, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And we even saw
Yes.
how some slam poets are incorporating
Yeah.
spaghetti monster
Yeah.
into their work,
I love that.
using it to explore these
Yeah.
complex themes
Complex themes. Yeah.
in a way
Yeah.
that's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Entertaining and thought-provoking.
And it's speaking of slam poetry. We touched on this
Okay.
fascinating tool called the Poetry Master,
Yes.
which seems to embody
Mm.
that same spirit
Right.
of playful exploration
Playful exploring.
and thought-provoking expression
Yeah, I agree.
that we've been
we've been talking
about discussing.
It's like a guide to harnessing the power of language to create poetry
Right.
that makes
The difference.
a difference.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's about
Yeah.
using your words to inspire,
Absolutely.
to challenge,
And
to
to connect.
connect with others. Yeah.
Deeper level.
Yeah.
Level.
Yes.
And just like the flying spaghetti monster,
Right.
it reminds us that sometimes the most profound insights come wrapped in a blanket
Yeah.
of humor
Humor and absurdity.
and absurdity.
Yeah, I agree.
This is shaping up to be one of our most thought-provoking deep dives yet.
Absolutely.
But before we go
Right.
any further, we need to take a quick break.
All right.
We'll be right back
Okay.
with more insights and explorations.
An exploration.
After a word from our sponsors.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Before the break,
Yes.
we were exploring how the Flying Spaghetti Monster
Right.
and the Poetry Master
Yeah.
both kind of encourage us to use humor
Yeah.
and unconventional thinking to make our words
To make our words matter.
matter.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to me how these
Yeah.
seemingly disparate ideas, a pasta-based deity,
Yeah. And a poetry toolkit
right?
actually share so much common ground. It's like they're both tapping into this idea that we don't have to be so serious all the time, that humor can be this powerful tool
Yes.
for exploring.
For exploring.
This is the most profound.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that learning and growth don't have to be dry and academic.
Right.
Sometimes a little absurdity can be
Right.
the perfect gateway to deeper understanding.
Exactly. And speaking of absurdity,
Okay.
the article really emphasizes how the Poetry Master
Yeah.
encourages us to play with
Yes.
unexpected metaphors and combine these
right.
seemingly unrelated concepts.
Yeah, I love that.
Just like
Just like the spaghetti monster itself, right?
the spaghetti monster itself does.
Exactly, yeah.
It's about breaking free.
Breaking free
from those
conventional ways of
conventional ways
thinking and expressing ourselves.
of thinking and expressing ourselves.
The poetry master gives you the tools and techniques for crafting metaphors that surprise and delight, for weaving together those disparate ideas to create something cohesive and meaningful.
So it's like taking that,
Yeah.
playful, irreverent spirit of the spaghetti monster and like injecting it directly into our creative process.
Absolutely.
You've got it.
Right. It's about using language in a way that's both engaging and thought-provoking, challenging ourselves and our audience.
In our audience.
To see the world. In new and unexpected ways.
In unexpected ways, exactly.
Remember that example from the article about the pyramids as giant spaghetti strainers?
I love that one.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That's a good one.
Really stuck with me.
It is.
It's such a silly concept, but it makes you immediately rethink.
Everything.
Everything you thought you knew.
You thought you knew.
About the pyramids.
About the pyramids.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the ancient Egyptians were just...
That's right.
Pasta enthusiasts.
Right.
With a flair for monumental architecture.
Maybe they just really liked
big
spaghetti.
It really does highlight how even the most... seemingly solid and established ideas can be questioned and reinterpreted. And that's one of the things I find so fascinating about humor is that it has this like unique ability to like disarm us. Make us laugh.
Yeah.
And then when we least expect it, slip in a thought-provoking idea.
Totally.
That completely shifts our perspective.
Yeah, that's the power of humor.
The article also talks about using humor as a weapon to address those like more sensitive or challenging topics.
Okay.
And I have to admit, I'm still a bit wary
I understand.
of that word choice. Feels a bit aggressive, doesn't it?
It does,
Weapon can definitely have some
negative connotation.
Negative connotations.
But in this context, I think it's meant metaphorically as a way to emphasize the strategic and purposeful use of humor.
So it's not about using humor to like attack or belittle someone.
No.
But rather to kind of like disarm them. Open them up to hearing a different perspective. Can you give me an example of how this might work in practice?
The article gives that example of feminism is like a good carbonara. You need eggs to get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to admit, when I first read that line, I thought, isn't that a bit trivializing? Like comparing a social movement to a pasta dish.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean now.
I understand.
The humor makes it more accessible and memorable. While still conveying a serious point.
That's exactly it.
It's about finding that sweet spot where humor and substance
intersect. Yeah.
You can make people laugh.
Absolutely.
While also encouraging them
to think
critically about important issues.
I agree.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Okay.
Whether we're talking about the flying spaghetti monster or the poetry master.
Right.
It seems like the underlying message is the same. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to use humor to explore those big ideas, to challenge the status quo.
Absolutely.
And to spark meaningful conversations. Yeah.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that humor can be this powerful tool.
For connection.
For understanding. And for making our words. Matter. Yes.
Okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know more about how this poetry master actually works in practice.
Yeah.
The article describes it as a toolkit.
Yeah.
But what are some of the specific techniques it offers?
Well, one of the key things the poetry master focuses on is the art of crafting compelling metaphors. Just like those we were discussing
earlier.
Right.
It teaches you how to make those unexpected connections, to find those surprising comparisons.
Yes.
That make your poetry stand out.
Make your poetry stand out.
And resonate with
your audience.
With your audience, yeah.
So it's not just about coming up with like random, silly comparisons.
Lots more than that.
There's a real craft to it.
Craft to it, yeah.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the power of metaphor.
The power of metaphor.
And using it strategically.
Yes.
To create imagery.
To create imagery that's both vivid and thought-provoking.
Yeah. Beyond metaphors. What else does the poetry master offer?
Right. Well, it also delves into the importance of wordplay.
Okay.
Using humor to subvert expectations and crafting lines that make people laugh while also making them think.
So it's not just about like writing funny poems.
No, it's not just about writing funny poems. No. It's about using humor as a tool to engage with complex ideas. And connect with your audience.
Yes.
On a deeper level.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's about using humor to make a difference.
Yes.
To inspire change. And to create a more just and compassionate world. And that's a goal.
That's a goal worth striving for. Oh, and you say.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's also about, having fun with language. Right. About embracing that playful experimental side of ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is making me want to dust off my old poetry notebook.
Okay.
And start experimenting. Yeah. I could see how the poetry master could be like a game changer. For anyone. Who wants to unlock their creative potential. And find their own unique voice.
I agree.
It's definitely a valuable resource for aspiring poets.
Or anyone who wants to
enhance their creative writing skills. Yeah.
And it's a great way
to tap into
that same
spirit
of playful exploration.
That we see. In the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Phenomenon.
Hold on. So we've covered a lot of ground.
Yes.
In this.
Yes.
In this deep dive.
Yeah.
From the origins. Of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
How did Flying Spaghetti Monster to the power of humor in social commentary. Yeah. And the practical techniques offered by
the poetry master.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
It has.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Right.
There's so much more to explore and discover when it comes to the interception of humor, language, and the human experience. Yeah.
I completely agree.
Okay.
But before we go any further down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I think it's time to
take another
break. We'll be back in a moment. To wrap up our exploration of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Okay.
Its connection to poetry. And what it all means. For you.
For all of us, yes.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's amazing how we started with an article about the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yeah.
And ended up talking about everything.
We covered a lot of ground.
The pyramids.
Yeah.
To slam poetry. To feminism.
It's fascinating to me how we've touched on some pretty serious topics. Belief systems, social justice, the nature of truth, but through this lens of humor and absurdity.
It's like the Flying Spaghetti Monster gives us permission to question things without taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
It reminds us that learning can be fun, and that even the most complex ideas can be approached with a sense of
playfulness. I think that's such an important message, especially in today's world, where everything feels so polarized and serious. The Spaghetti Monster encourages us to approach those difficult conversations with an open mind and a willingness to laugh at ourselves.
It's like saying, hey, let's talk about these big ideas, but
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
not forget to
Yeah.
have some fun along the way.
That's a great way to put it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's where the connection to poetry comes in so beautifully.
Mm.
Poetry, especially slam poetry, often uses
Right.
humor and wordplay to address those
Right.
complex themes, engaging audiences in a way that's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
It's like using humor to create a bridge to, connect with people who might otherwise be turned off by a more serious or academic approach.
Exactly. It's about making those complex ideas more accessible, more relatable, and ultimately more impactful.
And the poetry master,
Yeah.
with its emphasis on blending the absurd
Yeah.
with the profound.
The profound seems like the perfect tool
Hmm.
for anyone who wants to master this art of using humor
Right.
to convey those deeper meanings. It's like taking everything we've been discussing
Right.
about the flying spaghetti monster and translating it into a practical guide for creative expression.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
The poetry master is all about using language in a way
Yeah.
that sparks curiosity,
It sparks curiosity.
makes people laugh,
Yeah.
and leaves them with something to think about
And leaves them with something to think about.
long after they've finished reading.
I agree.
It's not just about writing funny poems.
Right.
It's about using humor as this tool
Right.
for connection,
In action.
sparking those deeper conversations,
Deeper conversations.
challenging
Yeah.
the status quo.
The status quo.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that humor
Recognizing that humor
can be this force for good,
can be a force for good.
that it can be used
Yeah.
to make a real difference
To make a real difference.
in the world.
In the world.
So after this, deep dive into the world
Into the world.
of the flying spaghetti monster.
Of the flying spaghetti monster.
What's the one thing you hope our listeners will take away? What's that
Right.
pearl of wisdom you want them
Yeah.
to carry with them?
If I could leave our listeners with just one thought, it would be this.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to embrace the absurd, to question the unquestionable, and to use your words to create something meaningful, whether it's a poem, a story, or just a conversation. Let your voice be heard. The world needs more laughter,
Yeah.
more critical thinking, and more people who are willing to challenge those conventional ways of seeing things.
I love that.
Oh,
maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky enough to
Tell you.
encounter
To encounter
the flying spaghetti monster
a flying spaghetti monster.
out there
Yeah.
in the vast cosmic noodleverse.
In the vast cosmic noodleverse, that's great.
You can send our regards.
Now, that would be a meet 'em for the ages.
And speaking of amazing opportunities, don't forget about
Yes.
that special
That special
Christmas discount
Christmas discount
on the Poetry Master.
on the Poetry Master.
It's the perfect gift.
It is. It's a great gift
Inspiring poets.
for aspiring poets
For anyone
or anyone
who wants to unlock
who wants to unhumble
their creative potential
and creative potential
and make their words matter.
and make their words matter. Yes.
You can find all the details on the Bahn-Slam channel website.
It's a gift that keeps on giving, empowering individuals
Right.
to express themselves with more confidence, creativity, and impact.
So to wrap up
Okay.
this deep dive
This deep dive
into the world
into the world
of the flying spaghetti monster,
of the flying spaghetti
we
monster,
encourage you to
we encourage you
keep
to
questioning,
keep questioning,
keep laughing,
keep laughing,
and keep writing.
keep writing.
And who knows, maybe someday you'll even be inspired to
Yeah.
pen an ode
To pen an ode
to the flying spaghetti monster itself.
to the flying spaghetti monster itself.
Yeah, but that would be a poem I'd love to hear.
Yes, it would.
That's it for this deep dive.
Okay.
But the exploration doesn't have to end here. Keep those noodles flying, your minds open,
Yeah.
and your words flowing.
And your words flowing.
With poetic greetings.
Okay.
Stiffen from the Bahn-Slam channel.
Sounds good.